Okay, so moving forward the questions. What are the signs that an individual is getting harmed by the excessive use of social media?
One of the telltale signs is the lack of focus and attention, the amount of time that they can sustain their attention for, and secondly is how quickly they become agitated. What I have seen recently, and I'm not sure how much of the research is supporting that, this is just an observation, that people who generally use a lot of social media are generally very quick to react to things. So because they're not processing, like I said before, the emotional processing is not happening. So whatever would agitate them, there would be a bigger reaction, and then secondly, the reaction would be much quicker as well. And then secondly, memory has become a huge issue. People are not spending time remembering things, they are just scrolling through things. That is going to have, and then if 6 hours a day you're not registering things, it will obviously also show in the way that you learn things as well in classrooms, like in simple things as recalling events, memories. That is kind of what shows.
Okay. Okay. In your opinion, what aspect of social media has the most significant impact on young people's mental health?
Can you repeat the question?
In your opinion, what aspect of social media has the most significant impact on young people's mental health?
So previously you asked me a question about self-esteem. I'm gonna take that up again. So in younger people, because they are generally much more fascinated by upcoming and newer trends, which are endorsed very heavily by celebrities. A young child is not a celebrity. They don't have access to those kind of resources that a celebrity does. Their bodies are not developed like a 30-year-old celebrity's body is developed. So that comparison, the child does not process that. The comparison is being done unconsciously. But they will keep comparing themselves that, oh, this celebrity, they have this, they are doing this. This influencer culture is a huge problem that is promoting this even more. That comparison will be a thief of their joy and their self-esteem. So that's a big problem that the younger generation is facing.
Moving forward, in your opinion, what approximate age group is most affected by social media?
Age group. I don't think there's a particular age group that would be affected. I would say that it is how much you are using and the kind of content you're using will be a problem. For example, and I'll rationalize why I think that, you will see adults in their 50s or 60s consuming content, political content, which is completely false, and they don't even know that the content is false. They're convinced that this is right. That is also bad. And it is equally bad when a child of 12-year-old is consuming content, and they are consuming content related to buying more things, looking a certain way. They both are harmful because both of them are harming their belief systems. So it's not about the age group, it is about what are you consuming.
Okay, so next question. What are some healthy habits that can be implemented to stay mentally well while using social media?
While using social media?
Yes.
Okay, so I think the answer lies in a previous question as well, that you have to be you have to be very vigilant about what you are consuming. And then in that, be critical also about the opinion people are putting out there. When we stop being critical about products, people, news that we are observing on social media, and it can very easily, you can stop being critical because the average reel length is 15 to 30 seconds. You don't have enough time to kind of actually sit and think if this is something that you need to critically analyze. So I think my advice would be to stay critical about whatever that you are getting convinced about, that this is true or this is false. And secondly, out of social media, the maintenance of health is very important. Just know that whatever that you're consuming, half of it is a lie. And whatever health that you are going to maintain for yourself is outside of social media. It is not inside social media. It is exercise, healthy eating habits, memory exercises, that is good. And then maintaining good social relationships.
Yeah, that's great. So, moving onwards to the last question. Over the years, has the rise of social media platforms resulted in an increase of mental health issues such as anxiety or depression?
In younger generation, I do think that there has been a rise. but I wouldn't say it is negative in a way, because these problems existed previously as well. Children were being abused, they were being neglected, and that neglect was much higher than it is today. So they also were feeling anxious and they were feeling depressed. It's just that they did not know what they were feeling. There was no tag that was put to it. Now, the shift is more than it should have been. Even little bit of anxiety is now being labeled as I am an anxious person. But the awareness is coming now. They know that what their triggers are. They can feel anxious. They can feel depressed. Those problems were there before as well. They might be a little different now. People might be more aware of them. Not necessarily this, that they are more depressed or more anxious. But the additional factor I think could be this, that self-worth is now decreasing, which could be a factor that could instigate further future mental health crisis.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. That's all for now. We really appreciate your time and thank you so much for your responses.
You're welcome.
Thank you.